Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Stoneblock 2. Folks, I got some fantastic news. Had to bring you in almost immediately. You might notice there are no more cows in here. Yeah? Have you figured out what's gone down right now already? Ooh, we got it! We got that infinity cow! It's got a real long time on its usage. 4 hours before it'll drop a single ingot. Well, a single milking, which is a few ingots. It's not just one. But, whoo, that's a crazy timer, right? We will actually have to get into some of the Avaritia stuff, just maybe not as much of that. We've got to get some compression things going. We've also got to get some of the neutrons. Is it just neutrons? We've got to get some of that stuff going. I will explain all of that here in a minute when we get going on it. But first things first, I really want to upgrade our power structure. To that end, I skipped around a little bit more, and I developed very, very specific Shikon. If you look down there, you can see that one. That, my friends, is a Yellorium cow, or a Yellorium chicken, and that is uranium chicken. Because we're going to be getting into some extreme reactors, baby. We're going to build a big reactor, biggest one you can make, and we're going to fill it entirely up with the best materials we can, and we are not going to be efficient at it at all. We're going to go for some serious power generation. The one thing that I want to do is I want to keep my uranium production underneath what it takes. So that's as much as we will do in terms of making sure that we can keep it efficient, because I don't want to have to generate like 12 different chickens to keep this going, but I might, because we're getting crazy here, so maybe we'll get a little bit crazy. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that. Yeah, fully upgrade. Cool. We've got tons of nether stars. Tons of them. 9,000. It's over 9,000. And then we've also, I figured out these things, these little wither souls. Oh no, I deleted it somehow. Ooh, gotta fix that. Gotta fix it. Okay, let's come back over here, because this is where I set it up. I'm going to show you this. I was going to show you anyways, but now I'm really going to show you. Yeah, so we got these things, these withering souls, and we have an export bus here that's just exporting them from the system into this, and then we got an importer that is taking the wither skulls out, because 3 of these makes 3 wither skulls. So that's the way that we're kind of keeping up with the wither skull situation, because we get... we don't get these like every wither that we kill, but it's pretty frequent actually that we get those. So I'm not terribly worried about it, but we got to put that back on here, so that way it has a place in the system and we don't have to worry about it. So yeah, we're gonna crack on. I already had the steel and graphite production ramped up. You can see that's how much steel we have. And that's how much graphite we have. We're getting those from chickens as well, and that's the main components for extreme reactors. Let's take a look here at extreme. So the main things that we need is we need the reactor casing, and we need a redstone flux power tap, and a controller, and then these bad boys, the fuel rods and the control rods. So I'll explain all these as we're going through them, but essentially this is what we need for the casing, which is like the outside thing. That's what we're going to put all around it. Now you can put glass, like a special type of glass. I think it's right here, the reactor glass. You can put that inside of the reactor if you want to be able to see what's going on inside of it. But for us, it's going to be the kind of thing where like we set it up and then we're done with it. We're never going to go to it again unless it has some kind of a malfunction. So we're not going to bother with that. Plus, I think that glass does add a certain amount of like lag to your world, because it does enable you to see fluid updates as they happen inside, or lighting updates, and we don't want none of that. We don't want anything that creates an extra bit of lag. So yeah, controller, and then the casing, and then the few things that we need to tap into it. Basically, how this works is we feed in uranium, or Yellorium, but uranium for the purposes of this mod pack, because they've typed it all down to uranium. That's what it's been dictionaried to. we feed it uranium, and then it gives us power and also waste product, and then we can reprocess the waste product and generate power with it as well. But I'm hoping that we just have endless uranium and we don't ever have to worry about it. But I'm thinking with the model that I was looking at, I think we can generate almost, and this is using a respectably low amount of uranium per minute. I think we can generate about 750,000 RF a tick, which is going to set us right for so many of the things that we're doing in the series. I don't think that we'll need too terribly much more than that for anything. But yeah, let me get some of the supplies together because it's a pretty lengthy list, and then we will come back together and I will show you it. And if it takes me long enough, I guess I'll show you our first infinity ingots. Are you guys ready to produce that first ingot I was telling you about? I am. So let's see here. This is how I've got them all set up. You put a fluid filter into the insert, and then you put the fluid inside of there. This is a molten infinity bucket. And then I put it in there, and then switch this from extract to insert. Because now it has a definitive material that it is putting inside of this one, so it's not going to put anything else. Down below, as you can see from down the line, we put a casting table, and then an ingot cast. Set this to extract always. And then we'll have to shapeshift down into bat form here because that lets us get underneath here. And then we can put this to extract only, always active. And then we can turn this from extract to insert because we really only want stuff going in. Oh, wow. That does not render well. But if we pull it out, boom, you can see there we've got our very first infinity ingot. This is monumental for us, guys. This is a huge thing. This is almost getting us to all of the end game gear that we'll need to be able to go back and dominate that chaos chicken. So then we just come over here and we put it inside of our storage system so that it'll always show up here and it has a place to extract. We'll put it there. Boom. Oh my goodness. That looks fantastic. It's great. It's right there in the center of everything. Kind of looks like a nice centerpiece we got going there. But yeah, that is amazing. Okay, with that out of the way, we're going to try something dangerous. I'm not sure how well or if this is even going to work, but the thing is, for the next step in the plan, I need dragon's breath. And apparently, you get that from the chickens. So, you ready for this? Because we're going to have to do it. I have a full shield, so I should at least be able to, like, stand some of it. Oh, yep. Did I get it? I did. I got several of it. Also some end air. Just gotta wait for him to fire the laser. God, it's loud. Gosh, it is so loud. Let's just go ahead and... Whew. Okay, so basically, what you need him to do is you need him to fire the laser, and then you need to right-click the laser as it's hitting you. And that's what gives you Dragon's Breath. Just so you know for the future, in case you're playing this pack yourself. Now that we've got the Dragon's Breath... Oh, gosh. Now that we've got the Dragon's Breath, we can come over here, and we can do what I actually need to do. So I was looking at all the materials that are required for the extreme reactor that we're going to put together, and truly building a maximum sized reactor is a daunting task. It is absolutely incredible the amount of resources that you need for it. And so when I started looking at what it would take to put that together, I decided that it would be much better if we just cheated. And the way that we're going to do that is through Project E. So, here's the quest page for it. We're going to go this direction because these are the items that we need, is the ability to take items and copy them and transmute them into other items. Which, not this one or this one actually, but something that looks exactly like these is how we do that. So, we might as well follow the quest line. First thing we need no matter what is a Philosopher's Stone, which requires this thing, the Ender Star in this pack, which requires Dragon's Breath, so you can see why I needed it. So we're going to go ahead and just do that. craft an ender star, and then make a philosopher's stone. Yes, most excellent. So now we've completed that quest. So then we need to make the alchemical chest, which should be, no, those are the energy condensers. Let's just do the same thing and look it up, and there we go. So this requires diamond lattice, a diamond chest, some dark steel, some stone, and covalence dust. What are these made through? Ah, the Empower. This is another thing from actually additions that basically you put 4 items together into a 5th one, and that makes you another item, usually something better or related to the other items. So the low covalence dust is made from redstone and double compressed cobblestone. Okay. The medium is a base essence ingot, still redstone, and then the high is an infused diamond and coal. Not that crazy of a recipe to make, so we can definitely do this. We just have to make an empower and all the associated stuff, which if we take a look here, the empower itself is made from these materials. So Restonia we're getting through chickens already. Iron casings are really cheap and easy to make, and then display stands, and then a double battery. Display stands are the other 4 items around the empower that you set the other items on. Like when we were looking at the recipes here, you can see how it's 1 in the center and then 4 around it. These are display stands. And then this is the actual empower, which turns this item into this item. So we've got a little bit of a crafting spree ahead of us, but then we will have another way to put things together. Yay! Cool, so I've got everything set up and ready here. We're going to put the empower underneath our fusion crafting core there. I moved my one probe top tier, that thing that tells you what all the blocks are. That's the one probe. I moved it down so that way it would be underneath the Wither's health bar, so that way you could actually read the stuff. Recipes for it, pretty simple, honestly. The display stands are the aesthetic green and aesthetic normal, I guess, quartz. Aesthetic normal. Both of these are made using the atomic reconstructor with quartz in just different fashions. You can see here this is chiseled quartz. The other one is just a normal quartz block. And then the other item, of course, was the advanced coil, which is just gold with a basic coil, which is just that, which we're getting from chickens and loot bags. And also, I think maybe we're getting black quartz from our friend. Yeah, that's a good word for it. Friend. Yes. And then the the empower itself is a display stand, 2 iron casings, which are just iron with some black quartz, and then a double battery Restonia, and that's this, and then that is that. Yeah, cool. So basically what we do is we put the empower down in the center, and then we put the display stands around it. And I think that we might only have to supply power to the display stands, but I went ahead and supplied it to the whole thing just because I didn't want to take the chance at being wrong, basically. So the only thing we have left that we need for this is, I think I need, yeah, a double compressed cobblestone, which of course we have. That is not a hard thing at all. It should be right there. Yeah, double, cool. So let's head back over here, and then basically what you do is you put that down, and that, and that. And then it'll just start sparking, and then that means that it is doing its business, and then boop, we get it. And I think there's some way that you can change this to where, like, you have to power it with, say, a redstone signal or something like that, but I always just leave it set to automatic, because if it doesn't have items on it, it's not going to go anywhere anyways. So basically we just do that. You can see there's like an effect, there's like some sparks or a line that appears here, but for some reason it's phasing out, and I don't know why, because normally you can see that there's actually items going, like a line of particles going from the display stands to the empower. Don't know why it's not showing up. The infused diamond, of course, also was just dimensional shards, which we found in the mining dimension and also are getting from loot bags, I think, and a normal diamond. So that, and then we need the 4 coal. Doot, and doot. Yeah, see that kind of invisible effect there? I don't know why it's not showing up. It's driving me crazy. But anyways, that's the 3 different covalence dusts that we needed for the alchemical chests. So let's go ahead and drop those in there. And then the only other crazy thing was a diamond chest, which is an iron chest made to a gold chest made to a diamond chest. The recipes are pretty straightforward there. You can see that's the progression line, which I already made. And then a diamond lattice, which is just 5 diamonds, which we have, of course. And then dark steel, which also chickens and also cows. So then we can make it. Boom, there we go. That's that quest done. Quest done. Quest done. We'll have to accept all of these before we end the episode today, right? Okay, so this is not... I'm just going to set it down to make sure, but this is not... Yeah, that's not what we're after. I think this thing just holds a lot of items, or maybe can convert back and forth or something, but that's not what we're looking for. We are looking for... What is it called? I know there's... Yeah, there we go. There we go. An energy condenser. This is what we want. So this is the normal one. It's dark matter, red matter, and a crystal chest and a dirt chest 9000 inside of our fusion crafting setup. We need 10 slots. We are getting dark matter from something, aren't we? I want to say that we are. Is it over here? Yeah, we're getting it from something. So this is a pretty high MC value. Oh, we just completed a quest that we hadn't already. EMC is like the value of the items. It's what the mod uses when you're converting back and forth between different things to determine if you have enough energy to be able to make the item that you're trying to make. And I think that we also get red matter through dark matter. It's been a hot minute, guys, since I messed with this. You'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit off here. Yeah. From Eternalist Fuel and also Dark Matter. Eternalist Fuel is just, it's down the line. If you keep going, eventually you hit coal. That's what that is. So, we need to make a bunch of that. Was it 6? Like, very seriously, 6 of them? For, what do you use that for? Show me the recipes. What do you use that for? There we go. Yeah, 6 of it for each red matter, and we need 3 dark matter to boot. And how much do we need for the normal one? 4 red matter and 4 dark matter. Well, you can see how this is going to go. I'm just going to have to convert a whole bunch of coal over. So, through the magic of the editing process, you get to skip all of that and just come back to the point where we have the materials ready to go. I had all the coal that we needed on hand, so I didn't have to do anything special, so I just had to go ahead and sit there and craft it all out. The crystal chest is just a diamond chest, which I showed a minute ago, but with glass around it. So, dirt chest, just a normal chest with dirt around it. Cool? Savvy? Alright, let's throw this friggin' chest in here and go ahead and condense us up one of these bad boys. And then I will show you why we did all this as soon as this cool animation gets done playing. I love this. This is probably my favorite way to craft stuff, if I'm being honest. So, let's go over here, and we're going to start with... We're probably going to make one more red matter and start there. No, we don't have that. At Proj. Go ahead and make me one more red matter. Cool. So, I'm going to set this down right here for completely unrelated reasons. So basically how this works is you go and put some item here, and then that's what you want the chest to make. You're like, I want you to make that. And then you grab an item, like say a really high MC item, like some blocks of emerald. These are like the most expensive, like normal Minecraft blocks. And then you throw them in here, and then boom, it converts all the MC from those down into red matter. And now we have that much red matter. And you can just keep on going. As much emeralds and other stuff as you have available to you. Boop! Now we have 40-something red matter. Let's just go ahead and drop this in here so that it'll be available for us to craft with. Yay! So the first thing that we want to do, and this actually sounds like a little bit counterintuitive, right, is we want to make another one of these. And why do we want to do that? Because we want to be able to make these with themselves. So that way if we need more things being auto-produced through them, we can. So we'll come back in just a moment, and you can see that I will have 2, maybe 3 of them, who knows. So yeah, 5. 5 is what it came down to through my adventures. But here's the thing. Honestly, we want to upgrade to the Condenser Mark II pretty immediately because this thing is just, it's so much better than the first one. So we have most of what we need here. Made up the blocks for this. I've got black hole units already made up, so that's not a problem. But we do need these Energy Collector Mark IIIs and Antimatter Relay Mark IIIs, which fortunately, that's just making stuff in the Empowerer here. So this is the third one, this is the second one, and this is the basic one. And it's pretty much the same thing, but in reverse for the other one. So we're going to have to make this. So we're going to go ahead and throw these furnaces in here. And then we're going to spread this out to 7. And then do that, because we do need 6 of it. We'll do this one first. So do that. Just put it all down. Right around here. There we go. And then we need the glass and the diamond. So that should... Oh, I guess we don't need the... which one is only 2 of them? 2, 2, 2, 2. Take that back real quick. There we go. So this is what gets us the Energy Collector Mark 1. You can speed this up too, isn't that cool? And then we need this. And then we take that out, put this down, and remove the glass and diamond. And... oh, right, and then put in dark matter. There we go. And then we take the dark matter out, put in red matter, and put it back in the top. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Give me that back. There we go. And that gets us the Energy Collector Mark III. Now, we pretty much just do the same thing, but in the weird reverse for this other one. So here we will lay down again the glass and the diamond block. And then 3. Hold back the 2. 3. I said hold back the 2. You know what? 2 over here, just so I can place down these other 3s in semblance of peace. Oh, no, not single mode active. Take that back. Take this back. And there we go. It looks a lot different, right, when you can just totally speed it up like that. So we do that, and then put this in the top and start it. Whoa, boop. Put it back in the top, except lay down this red matter, and then boop. Now, of course, these things are also something that, you know, we use as crafting components for things, but also might need more of in the future. So, yeah, you know what we're about to do. And I know you're probably wondering to yourself, man, you sure do have a lot of emeralds. I actually made a couple of extra emerald chickens and just have them down below, so that way I can have that available to us at any moment. So same thing here, because we're actually sitting on what? 40,000 emeralds? Something like that. Yeah. So there we go. We got quite a few of the collectors and the antimatter relays. That's going to enable us to make this bad boy, the Mark II. So I need to pull some black coal. Oh no, not that at all. There we go. Black hole unit. 1, 2. And then we'll just kind of spread this around. Doot, doot. And then just one of you. Just one of you. Doot. Oh, doot. There we go. And then we need this spread with this spread. Huh, 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 huh. And then if we put the thing in there now, yep, fusion crafting, good to go. So we let this power up, and should we watch this one? Yeah, we'll watch this one. Shoo, 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 shoo. Puff. And we got the energy condenser Mark II. So now that we have this, we can see that the I can show you that the thing is a little bit different inside there. Lay that down. So now it's got an input and an output side, which helps you with routing items around, but this part works exactly the same way. So if we go ahead and put, actually, first thing that we should do is use one of the normal ones, copy it. That's Mark II. Whew, that is a lot of EMC necessary. So we'll grab out a couple stacks of emeralds. Just let it do its thing. We don't really need a lot of them. Probably just, honestly, just the 3 is probably enough. So I guess we'll take what emeralds back out of there that we can. Okay. And then this we can just basically toss for EMC, because these are all that we will need. So how do they work? Like I said, basically just the same way. Let's say that I wanted to make some more emeralds. I'll put it in here, and then I'll toss this away. And then you can see it has an input and output side, and it's quicker. That's the main deal, is that it's way quicker. So, with that being said, we can get down to some reactor building. Okay, got the basics done here. Some control rod, redstone ports, access ports, redstone flux power taps, and a reactor controller. Recipes for this stuff, pretty simple, honestly, all things considered. The casings are this is the first part, the controller is that, those are casings in the corner. And then casings are used just for all of the different bits that you need to make. So the control rods, the fuel rods, the access ports for input and output, yada, 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 etc., etc. So the main thing, we need a lot of casings, a lot of fuel rods, and a lot of controllers. Because like I said, we're not really going for efficiency here. We're going to go for a high power output. If the calculations are correct for this, then we've got about 1 million RF coming into us at only about 10 or 11 ingots per minute, of which we are making, I think, 18, because we get 3 every 20 seconds, except we have 2 chickens that do it, so it's 6 every 20 seconds. So that means that every minute we're getting 6 times 3, 18. Yeah. So as long as we keep it below 18, we'll never run out of fuel. And if we keep it even lower than that, we will actually still generate uranium on top of never actually running out of it. And for those figures, we can get 1 million RF. So how are we going to do this? You know how we're going to do this. I just showed you. So I'm going to put the casings in here, and then boom, it's going to start making casings for us. And the total casings that we need for this project is 6,900. That's 107 stacks and 52 individual blocks, if my calculations are correct. We need 847 control rods. That's 13 stacks plus 15 regular. And then we also need 38,962 fuel rods, which is 608 stacks plus 50. We'll also need all of the other blocks, the controller, the redstone tap, all the stuff that we have already made up, and some liquid ender, because that's what we're going to use to cool a very minimal amount of our reactor just to help the power generation go. So I'm not going to make you watch me do this, obviously, because that would be super boring, and here we are. So you can see we've got all the materials gathered, a little bit more than we need, but again, now that we're playing with EMC, we can just dump any excess products we have right back into it to make more emerald blocks that we already used up, or, you know, whatever we need, basically. So yeah, I dug out a huge square over here on the back side of our base, because this is kind of the size imprint that it's going to take. Now this is a little bit bigger than it needs, but it doesn't matter if it's a little bit bigger, right? It just gives us a little bit more room to play around it. So the basic design layout here is just, I mean, it's super duper simple. There's really nothing to it. I'm just going to make a big gigantic square reactor, and I'm going to fill it with control rods, and very, very sparsely, as you can tell by the only 53 buckets of resident ender, I'm going to drop some ender in it to cool it to give us a little bit better of an output. It's a big multi-block structure. You just start laying down blocks in whatever design you want to. I made up a design by looking at some of the stuff that other people did and then modifying it a little bit. And I'll kind of show you, once I get to the very top layer where I lay in the control rods, I'll show you what I did. I said the top, but honestly, just from the first layer, you can kind of tell what's going on, especially if I go ahead and zoom in on the map. So all of those blank spaces there in this little cube that I'm standing in are going to be where the resonant ender is. Everywhere else is going to be control rods. You can see that this is the layout that I'm going for. Now this is not what you do if you want to make an efficient reactor, one that keeps its temperature down and also doesn't use up as much fuel as we're going to, but we don't care about that. We're going to go nuts with the fuel. And it's just the same thing straight up and down. So now I just got to fill in this massive square with these fuel rods, and then we'll see about putting it together. Got the top all sealed up. I just wanted to say that the reason that I chose to use liquid ender instead of jellied cryothium is because you only need one source block of liquid ender, whereas you need every single square to be a source block of jellied cryothium. And the truth is that ain't nobody got time for that. There are automatic ways to place it, but I honestly just don't want to mess with it, is the thing. Even though it would be both more power and also be more efficient, so we could squeeze, well, even more power out of it, I guess. But when I did the math on this one, or rather looked it up in the simulator, it's still producing, like, I mean, I think it's 934,000 RF per tick, which is just fine for me. That's the thing. Like, I don't need the absolute best extreme reactor, because it's just not necessary for anything that you have to do here. This pack is not that complicated. So, this is what we're going with. Time to crank this bad boy on. If you look in there, you can see all of the resonant ender is flowing down. If we go up top, which I installed some elevators for quick access, you can see it's all sealed up. So now the only thing we've got left to do is place our controller, because all of the other secondary blocks, like the input, output, and the redstone flux power tap, I have installed. So, oh, there we go. And you can see that it just instantly changed. And now this is what it looks like. So, status offline, 100%, whatever on all this, because that's going to change. This is how much fuel you have, how much you're depleted, the heat, the core heat, the casing heat, and then the energy buffer. Now you can set this up to where the energy buffer will shut off once it hits a certain amount if you use the redstone interface, and then set up a simple redstone circuit to just be like, yeah, I'll do this if that. But we're not even going to worry about that, because the truth of the matter is it's just going to run constantly, because we have the Draconic Evolution power core, and that's going to suck power continuously. So there's really no point in us trying to be super duper efficient here. I put the input and output down here so that we could be kind of like on the sly about putting stuff into it. And then we're going to put that in. And then if we come over here, we can see that we've got, well, there should be some in the core. Let's go ahead and try to activate it, see what happens. Yeah, it's not generating. Did the uranium just get sucked up by it? Maybe we need more of it to start. I think we do, actually. Let's come over here and we'll just grab like as much of it as we can carry. And we'll throw all this in and see how it goes. Did I get your core going? I mean, it's definitely generating energy now. It's 0.9% full. Oh, wow. Well, that should give us at least enough that we can look at this at full tilt. Now, the main thing is that up here, we're going to have to set the control rods down just a little bit. And by just a little bit, I mean almost entirely. Control change all rods, shift plus 100. Okay, so we're going to do that, and then shift plus alt 1. Shift plus alt. There we go. Got to get that back. I think 95% is what it needs to be at. Are they all that now? Yeah, good. 0.9% full. The heat's coming down. The energy buffer's already full. So we need this to be drawn out of here before we can really see. Let me grab a flux point real quick, and we'll check it out. Alright, so now it's all thrown together in exactly the way that it needs to be. If we go ahead and click on this, you can see we're using quite a bit millibuckets per tick, but like I said, I don't care about that really. This is our heats, which are kind of high for this. They should be kept below 1000 for optimal efficiency, but again, that's not what we're going for. It is slowly filling up. The unfortunate part is that we've only got so much uranium going in, and we're keeping it at about, like, we've got 8 extra ingots coming in every minute or so, but that's still not enough to get it full just yet. So we have no surplus. Every bit of uranium we have is inside this thing right now. But if we take a look at this, that's our RF per tick. 1.7 million RF a tick is going through this one flux plug. And then if we come up here, we can see what it looks like going into it. You can see all of the streaming particles as it all enters into the sphere. If we click this, we can see, yeah, we still haven't hit 1%. 1.49 trillion stored, and we're still not at 1% yet. This thing is crazy big. Absolutely insane. So big, so huge. That's what she said. Yeah, anyways. So, that's going to be it for this episode. Guys, I hope that you liked it. If you did, please hit that like button below. I know it's kind of a long one, and that's not normal for me, but we needed to get this stuff done, and I didn't want to spend 2 episodes doing it. So please let me know anything down in the comments that I might have missed, or if you've got some hot tips, give them to me. And please subscribe if you're new. We've still got a fair amount of this to go. We've got to get ourselves right for fighting that chaos chicken and actually killing it. And that's what we're going to be looking at in the coming episodes. Hit that notification bell down below if you want YouTube to just tell you when a new episode comes out. And I will see you in the next episode. Ciao, bye, auf Wiedersehen, and later!